Hey YouTube world, and hey to my Neville Nation. I know you're out there. Welcome to Neville Girl Forever, or welcome back. I'm your host, Neville Girl, and on this channel we explore and discuss everything Neville Goddard, and I invite you to follow me on my journey as my dream life unfolds, and I want to help support you to have your dream life unfold as well, because along the way I'm going to be sharing tips, tricks, and hacks. So whether you're brand new to Neville Goddard, hang in there. It'll all start to soon make sense. It'll click for you. If you're a little bit more familiar or seasoned and you are looking for added support or a journey member, I'm your girl. Because for years, I studied law of attraction really hard. And I have a lot of certifications, became a life coach, and I had some success. I did. I'm not saying I didn't. But I didn't have a formula. And then this early spring, I came across Neville Goddard, and oh my gosh, overnight, seemingly my whole life changed. So I want to help support you with that as well. So let's get into today's topic. And today I want to discuss SATS. I've had a lot of questions in the comments about it, and that's great because that's how I felt at first too when I came across Neville. Because if you've been following me for a time, you'll probably know that I came across the thank you prayer. Thank you for showing me that this issue with so-and-so or such and such is already solved. Or thank you for showing me my issue's already solved. I didn't know really who Neville was. So I really dove in, but I had success just with that prayer. So there's more to that, and it's one of the more underestimated techniques, but I love that prayer as it just helped change my life. But anyway, today I am going to be reading from one of Neville's lectures, and I actually grabbed this from the Motivational Speeches channel. I like their channel. There's so many great Neville channels out there. So props to them. And this one was titled Key to Effortless Manifestation. And so it's just a little segment of it, but I think it's a great way to get started with today's topic that I want to go over with SATS, right? So this is Neville speaking. What if I told you that the life you always dreamt of is not just a possibility, but it's an absolute inevitability, and that the power to reshape your reality lies dormant within you, waiting to be awakened? Take a moment to absorb those words and let them sink in. Feel the weight of their implications. So you see, most people go through life believing that they are at the mercy of external circumstances, and they think that success, happiness, and fulfillment are just things that happen to them rather than experiences that they themselves have created. But I'm here to shatter that illusion, and me and Neville are here to help you shatter that illusion, depending on where you are with everything about Neville. But the truth is, you are an architect of your own reality. The truth is, everything, every thought, every belief, every assumption you hold shapes the world around you. And once you truly understand this principle, you'll never view your life the same way ever again. Nope. So have you ever noticed that some people effortlessly attract success while others struggle despite their very best efforts, right? We've all seen that. What separates these individuals isn't luck. It isn't talent. It's not even hard work. You ever notice that? I mean, I know a lot of hardworking people who are successful, but I know a lot of hardworking people who aren't successful. So Neville goes on to say, it's their mastery of the fundamental law that governs our universe. It is the law of assumption. This law states that your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world. And in other words, whatever you assume to be true soon becomes your reality. So it's not about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. Nope. It's about aligning your thoughts. Oops, let's adjust the light a little bit. It's aligning your thoughts and feelings and beliefs with the reality you wish to experience. Now you might be skeptical and you might be thinking, if this were that simple, then wouldn't everybody be living their dream life? Yeah. And that is a very valid question. So Neville is acknowledging that. Let me get the light even better for this. I don't know what happened to my light right there. But anyway, the truth is most people are unaware of this power, and they've been conditioned to believe in their limitations, to accept mediocrity and settle for less than they truly desire. But, and I love this part, but you are not most people, are you? No. You're here because something deep inside of you knows there's more to life than meets the eye. You felt the pull and that inner knowing that you're meant for greatness. And you're right. You're right. So think back to a time when you've achieved something that you once thought was impossible. Perhaps landing your dream job, or overcoming a fear, or accomplishing a personal goal, or something like buying a house, right? How did you do it? So 1, you believed it was possible. 2, you saw yourself succeeding. 3, you felt the emotions of the achievement before it happened. In the physical world. So before it happened in the physical world, you felt all that. So you were daydreaming and you were starting to get excited, right? That, my friends, is the law of assumption in action. So you assume the state, and in that state, or in that excitement, in that getting excited and daydreaming, you assume the state of your wish fulfilled. And your reality aligned to match that new assumption. It was not just a mere coincidence or luck. It was you wielding and using your creative power of your imagination. But here's where most people falter and treat these experiences, they start to treat these experiences like exceptions rather than the rule. And then eventually they fall back into old patterns and doubt of limitations, and they allow their current circumstances to dictate what is possible. What if instead you learned to harness this power consciously? What if you could reshape your entire life? Yes, people, what if you could do that? By actually mastering the art of assumption. The good news is you can, and it's far simpler than you might think. Your imagination is not just a playground for idle fantasies. It's the most powerful creative force in the universe. And so think of that. I mean, I absolutely love that. When you learn to harness this truth, and it's not just a concept, it's a truth, you can start to create a life you love with ease. And that might seem miraculous to some. Trust me, your friends are going to start to wonder. First time, you're going to seem lucky. Second time, it's going to be a coincidence. Third time, they're going to wonder, well, what's going on? But Neville goes further on to say, but the key to effortless manifestation lies in the understanding that the true nature, in understanding the true nature of your reality. That the reality as you see it and are experiencing is nothing more than a shadow of your old assumptions. Every person, experience, etc., everything is actually you pushed out, which can feel heavy, but actually it's quite liberating when you start to understand that. Because once you understand that it's your current reality that is based in the old assumptions, then you can change your whole life by creating and living and walking out new assumptions. It's that simple. But simplicity does not equal ease. Nope. Because our minds are often cluttered with years of limiting beliefs and negative assumptions, and we've been taught to only believe in what we can actually see and feel and touch, right? So if you can't see it, if you can't touch it, you can't believe it, right? But the truth is, your senses only show you the effects of your previous assumptions. So to tap into this real power, you must learn to see beyond the visible world. You must cultivate an unwavering faith in the reality of your imagination and your imagined state. So that is what Neville had to say about the law of assumption, or a little snippet of it, right? So I want to take that conversation and move it forward to discuss SATS. As I've had a lot of comments, and I want to go over that more because we're going to do that a lot. There's a lot to say to SATS. So how do we do this? Especially since I've gotten, like I said, the comments. Neville and his SATS, state akin to sleep, that's what it's abbreviation for, is a cornerstone to a lot of what he was teaching. It's not the only thing, but SATS is really a cornerstone. So SATS is that kind of sleepy time just before you drift off to sleep, whether it's nighttime, early morning, an afternoon nap. It really doesn't matter when. It just matters, like, that's the desired state, that sleepy time. Because that's when the doors of our subconscious mind are open, and we can start to reprogram our subconscious mind with our new assumptions. With our new movies, with our creative visualizations, and of the things we are wanting to create and manifest in our lives. And by default, we're creating these new assumptions that will now start to not only change our matrix and our simulation of a sort, but then if you've successfully done your SATS, and you will also start to move differently through your day and through the matrix. And so, my friends, it's twofold. You will start to have new thoughts, and you'll start to have new actions that you'll be taking when you've actually done your SATS properly, when you've actually managed to affect your subconscious mind. So back to SATS and that sleepy state, and some call it the drift. I really love that because you're drifting off to sleep, but not quite yet. And ideally, you don't want to fall asleep quite yet. So you can start to run and play your new desired results in a movie in the first person. Yep, first person. So it's not like you're watching a movie and a bunch of people on a movie screen kind of thing, like you're in there. Nope. You are in the center of the movie. You're like the star of the movie, and you're experiencing all the sights, sounds, smells, sensations that are happening in this movie, loop or clip. So while you're experiencing this movie, make it as real as possible. Because when you experience it so real in this movie, this creative visualization, this movie screen, will affect your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind cannot, and I repeat, cannot distinguish the difference between whether it's real or made up. The subconscious mind now thinks it's a real memory or a real event. So then once it feels that it's so real, and you feel all the feelings that you would feel from playing this movie loop, the subconscious has no choice but to take it in as a fact and to start to recalibrate your everyday life in the matrix. So basically, we are collapsing the matrix and our timeline. Wild, right? I mean, some would even call you a time bender. And so I love this. I don't know if you're familiar with Regan Hillier. I don't actually know if I've never studied with her. I don't know if she's actually all about Neville, but I do believe she uses his teachings and technology, because the way she describes things that she wants to teach and share about in her previews. And so she talks about, you are now a time bender. So let me know if you know more about Regan Hillier, but and she's from the Mind Valley platform, and plus also being very famous for just her teachings. But I believe she does use these. That's my best guess. So let me know. But she also calls it's a fusion between science and magic, or at least that's how it starts to feel, right? Because there's plenty of science to back up and explain most of how and why this all works. I mean, look at Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks very specifically about the science behind all this, and his focus is a little bit more on health and well-being, but he discusses the science, because whether you're trying to create your dream life or just well-being and change a state of your physical body, it's the same principle. But because of the law of assumption and some of the other factors, there is something that starts to feel like there's an element of magic. Yeah, it's really us harnessing the law of assumption. We're using quantum mechanics. We're rewiring our subconscious mind, which is drawing in our dream life. It's changing our vibrations, right? And it's making us more magnetic to our dream life. So a quick recap today. And again, we're going to be going over SATS so many times because there's so many ways to discuss about it. But a quick recap on this about SATS and how to make it successful for you and to make the most out of it. Try to go to bed early whenever possible. And also, I recommend personally writing down on an index card the dream life movies that you would like to loop in your mind and play out. It's just so you don't forget, and you can kind of reshuffle them, kind of like an audio shuffle or movie shuffle, but you can reshuffle them, make sure you're playing them out, and loop them in your mind and really feel the experience. Make it real, really real. To the point where you can feel thrills and chills of everything that's unfolding. Do it often until it feels like an overwhelming thrill or chill. That is where I think that we can tell that it's been successful and that it's coming. Like, we placed our order with Amazon and we don't know when or how, but it's coming. Because when we have those thrills and chills, and I feel like if I go back enough times, my subconscious mind will start to almost talk to me and say, this is already an event. Why are you trying to replay this? This is just something that is happening or has happened. And so I don't know if you can tune into that, but that's kind of what's happened for me. And then with your SATs, you want to make sure you go to the end when you create your movie loop or clip. Because whatever your question is about in improving your life when it comes to Neville, it's all about going to the end. So the end is a scene on the other side of your desired outcome, like let's say your dream house as an example, right? So you can make a movie clip or loop, doesn't really matter, of like the closing table of the purchase. That's cool. Or building the house and picking up supplies or overseeing workers, etc. Those kind of things. Those things can't hurt. But I believe what Neville was talking about was the end, the other side of all of that. The other side of your absolute wish is already fulfilled, right? This means you're already living in that dream home. You're settled in. It's very familiar. It's normal and it's everyday to you. And you're now, like the movie clip that I would play would be like, now you are snuggled up on the couch with your SP or your pet, and you're watching a movie and you're eating popcorn and it's getting everywhere, but you can taste it, you can smell it, your dog is begging maybe, or maybe there's a fire that's crackling. You want to feel all the sensations, but you want to make it really familiar, like you've already been there for a while, right? And also, like, another idea is like you sitting in your kitchen, having your morning coffee, and enjoying that and your favorite breakfast. And your SP comes by and grabs a bite out of your toast or a little scoop off your plate, or your dog is begging, or you accidentally spill coffee on your shirt or whatever. Like, that's so real, like it's lived out, but you've been there, right? And this is just a normal everyday thing. And that's what I believe Neville was talking about when he comes to the end. And so those are my current suggestions for this video. So it's not to keep it too long. And when we go live, I will help give suggestions. I've caught myself times too, where I'm living in the end in one topic, but I forgot to do it with another. So sometimes we just need a reminder or like a suggestion for a movie script, and I'd be happy to help. That's what I'm here for. So when we go live, I can help you guys with that. So like I said, I don't want to make this video too long. We will continue to go over SATS many times, many different ways. And plus all the other Neville techniques, like I mentioned before, that are underestimated, but I think they all work together beautifully. So I don't know where you are in the world today. I'm not sure what you're trying to manifest. And, but I just hope you're having the most amazing day. And I just want to encourage you working with Neville and Neville techniques. And if you like my content, I ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. But since we're working with Neville, just please comment not what you're trying to create, but what you've already created, what you've already manifested. Even if you're still working on it, just FYI. But I would prefer to stay on that side of things because I really believe strongly in zipping it. But I appreciate your support. And like I said, I hope you're having an amazing day. And we are going to go live soon. I just have to fit it into my schedule with things, and especially moving now. So until the next time, bye.